I'm going to predict World War III. And I wish I was wrong, but I'm not. Everybody on YouTube is too worried about the jab, high prices, inflation. Everything they're doing, all these preppers, is regurgitated information from the news. And yet people listen to them like walking little robots. Nobody does their own research anymore. Because, that's work. That takes a lot of time. You probably have to spend a good couple of days researching just to get what's going on. I want to talk about a man named Richard Fisher Jr. Who is he? He's a bald-headed guy. Glasses, probably a genius. He's a senior fellow, Asian Military Affairs. That's what he is. His job is to watch China on everything they're doing. He lives and breathes it, pretty much. And he has actually predicted World War III, not me. I'm going to give you his information so you can read about him, and I'm going to give you a video to watch, and you determine what's going on. And I'll give you the basics. We had one administration that was aware of what was going on with China. One. And he kept saying, China, China. And that was Donald Trump. And I hope Biden pays attention. Donald Trump actually gave Taiwan, sold them, missiles to protect our country. And the reason for that is because China wants to take Taiwan. Now, whether we want to or not, if we allow China to take Taiwan, it's not the taking of Taiwan. It's once they take it. That's when World War III will break out and we'll have multiple wars. It will be a standing point for attack on other countries. Australia is right next door. Australia might want to reconsider letting their citizens have guns. It's a hidden gem that is controlled by China, and China wants to control everything. They want to be Hitler. That's all there is to it. They are a communist country, so is Russia, so is North Korea, and they are not our buddies. Maybe Donald Trump was making friends with Russia because, as they say, keep your enemies close. Which a lot of people judged him for. But it could be more than that. China is spending trillions on their armed forces, their mechanized units, biological warfare, drones, AI. I'm talking trillions. They're not just upgrading an army and they're thinking, okay, if we go to war, we should have this. Let's keep things going. No. They're spending big money. Who else was spending big money? Wasn't it Trump? I think Trump didn't express himself well enough to the American people where he could show them what was going on and why he was doing it. And that's sad. And you got to ask yourself, why are we even talking to China? And I'm going to answer that. You look at Cuba, we've got embargoes, we've had things there for 80 years to prevent them from doing anything or moving ahead because they're a communist country and because they were working on nuclear warheads. And because we felt they would use them. But we're not doing that to China. Well, how come? And think about it. It boils right down to corporations. It's always corporations. It's the money. They knew they could go to China and make their products cheaper. They even offered China free shipping, and we said we were trying to help them. We're trying to help a communist country? Really? No. It was one scam after another by corporations to have their product made and to sell to you. Because it would be too much money if it was made here. God forbid you pay somebody a livable wage here. There was a particular gentleman who said he cannot make rubber gloves for a quarter a piece. The least he could do it for was $1. He doesn't even know how China does it for a quarter a piece. But yet, we went to China because it was cheaper. And then they fell apart and they ripped and they tore. There was no standards. Something we've known in the U.S. for years and years and years we've had. We have standards in steel. We have standards on everything. But as soon as we went to a different country, those standards didn't matter anymore. We didn't have to use them. We send our chickens there to be killed, and then they send them back. You'd think that would be not even be affordable. Most of our high-end equipment, even our cranes that sit at the ports, are made by China. How do we know China hasn't inserted something in there with a pushable button that takes out those cranes and now we can't do nothing? Literally crippling our entire everything by taking out those cranes along the ocean. It's stupidity on a whole new level. All because of corporations. They're going to get us killed. There should be certain things in this country that does not go out of country. China comes here and buys land and takes the lumber and takes it back. Other countries have rules where you got to be from that country to own land. Not here. There's some China corporation less than 20 miles from me that owns over 1,000 acres. A lot of guys go out there ATVing. There's nobody there. There's no signs that say no trespassing. There's nothing there. Anybody can do whatever they want. That's because they come in once every 20 years and take the trees and off they go. And we allow this. You should be watching China. You should be paying attention to every news story that comes out on that, because once they take Taiwan, and not during the fight, but once they take it, we're into World War III. And they're not going to stop there. And they don't care about your feelings. And there's thousands of sneaky ways to get into our country. You take general airplanes that move people. How many does China own? How many soldiers can China put on those airplanes and drop them off here on those standard planes that fly? Could they drop 1 million people here? If you had an organized force dropped on a California border and they took out the marina and everything there that processes food, that delivers the trucks, and they started working their way in, could we stop them? And then all of a sudden mechanized units were dropped, all of a sudden AI, all of a sudden robots. Could we stop them? It starts with Taiwan. That is the start of the war. We should show Taiwan how to make the missiles for defense or sell them at amazingly cheap prices. That's what this Richard Fisher was saying. If we can stop China at Taiwan and put an end to this and say, look, we're not going to put up with this, then we will prevent it. Imagine that. We have an entire group of people that does nothing but watch China on how they're going to kill us. Our world is pathetic. All we worry about is how to kill each other. And they're spending trillions on it. You wonder why Elon Musk is trying to get off this planet? Elon Musk has said a couple times that his plans will be diverted if a war starts. And he's in a race to get them done. He's in a race to be on Mars. Why? Does he know China's going to go off with a bang? Russia's going to join in? North Korea's going to join in? They say within the next 9 years, China will have more foot soldiers, more mechanized army, more AI robots than anyone in the world. And they're building these constantly. The UN tried to vote and say they don't want AI to actually be used for killing humans. They want that against the law. The problem is when the UN makes something against the law, did China listen? They never do. And it would be a wonderful world if we could have a true UN that says we're not going to put up with a country that wants to make 1,000 nuclear warheads, or else we're going to just go in there and we're going to take them out. Enough's enough. It's like the UN just blows hot air. So, the almighty question is, Will people sit back and let China take Taiwan, and will it begin? I'll give you a couple links in the bottom to watch and check out this guy's information. And then I want you to figure this out. Do you think it's possible? Do you think China's going to take Taiwan and we're just going to sit back and let them? Or do you think we're going to stop them? Donald Trump wanted to give Taiwan what they needed to stop them. He was on to something. He knew. I don't think Biden knows. We should have a couple aircraft carriers sitting at Taiwan. We should give them missiles. We should literally be sending a message to China. We're not going to put up with this shit. And enough's enough. And if we're going to go to war, we do it now. Because once they start taking these smaller countries, and Russia's already done it, we're in trouble. And when we sit back and allow it to happen, we say, oh, we don't want to get involved. It just means more people by the millions die. History has already proven that. So, if you're a prepper and if you do want to watch something that's going on and you're going to try and figure out, how do I prepare for this? Start paying attention to China. Don't worry about your belly. It'll take care of itself. Because it is very scary what China's doing. Very scary. And the amount of money they're putting into this. And we gave them the money to do it. We are literally giving them the money because of our corporations to take us out. Every time we buy something from China. I had a client say to me, oh, I got to save money. I really don't want to do much right now because I've noticed the shelves in the grocery store are slowly getting empty and there's certain things I can't order. And I laughed and I had to tell him that you're worried about that. You think that's a sign of trouble. That's not a sign of trouble. Most of our stuff is made in China, and if China ain't making it, then it ain't coming. That's it. We don't make a whole lot here anymore. And we really should start thinking about that. Heck, anything you buy from China, you go buy a pair of running shoes for $20, they fall apart in 3 months. You go buy something made in the U.S., you got to pay $200, and they last you for friggin' 8 years. What do you want? A pair of running shoes that lasted 3 months after China's landed? Or do you want a good pair of boots that you're going to be able to keep going? This is what's happening. Corporations are literally surrendering our country, and we're allowing it. Not only destroying so many other things. They're not your friend. I hope Biden's eyes are wide open. But I'm making this video for myself, so when World War III does kick off, if they keep going after Taiwan and we don't do anything, once it's taken over, then I called it. But you need to start researching other things. They should be saying China's our enemy right now. They're not our friend. Pay attention, eyes open, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.